So on the night, this happened about 25 years ago. On the night, I thought today is a grand night. I'm going to end my life. Hi, just wanted to share with you, the place in which God actually intervened into my life and brought in such meaning and purpose. Because I truly believe in my life that God did not call me for being successful, but God called me for being purposeful. And somewhere this world packs you up towards a place of success. And one thing that one gets to lose out completely is the understanding that our lives can be purposeful. Born in a Christian family, born in a family that was very evangelistic in its approach. Parents were preachers and stuff like that, and it's sometimes very interesting that in homes that are so much about the spreading of the message of God, the good news of the gospel, you will find that there will be those within the family who will get lost or fall through the cracks. I was one such person who kind of fell through the cracks, and so started to live a life that was very a life of duplicity, a life that on one side was what it was in church, and what because I truly believe God had given me a lot of giftings and talents, but somewhere on the other side there was a life that I was leading which was completely against all that I kind of professed. So on one side I possess something, on the other side I profess something else, and this kind of a hypocrisy can be handled for a year or so, but over a period of time the chaos and the confusion inside my heart became so heavy that I had to make a choice. And one of the things is that the choice that I made was just about to end my life, okay? And ending my life was, in my own way, I thought was the best thing to do instead of living a life of contradiction. Some of the things that really plagued my heart was because on one side you got all that is spiritual and all that's religious happening. On the other side habits and practices and sinful patterns that were so much plaguing my life, and one side did not know the other and the other side did not know this side. And so in the middle was this guy who was really plagued by all the contradictions of a life that was supposed to be purposeful. And so on the night, this happened about 25 years ago. On the night, I thought today is a grand night. I'm going to end my life, and just happened that I called one of my friends who pretty much knows both these sections of my life, and I told him, hey, I'm going to do this tonight. I'm going to end my life, and you might not see me tomorrow. And I just told him, hey, why don't you come into my home tomorrow early in the morning? I might be there lying as a dead body, but just come and clear my house, clear my shelves of anything that would tell my parents that I lived a dual lifestyle. My friend begged me not to do that, but anyway, nothing could stop, so I just popped in a whole lot of sedatives and antidepressants, and something beyond what I've actually done. And so that this was happening somewhere midnight, and I did this, and I don't know, once the medication started to take effect in my body, I started to get scared. How ironical that I just wanted to do this, but in a little while, once it started to take a toll or started to have its effects, I got really scared, and I just went to my knees and I just cried, God, is it over? Because I didn't know that I'm eternally condemned if I do not have Jesus as the Lord of my life, because that's what He was offering, and I rejected His offering. And so it just happened that I didn't know what to do. I opened the Bible, I didn't know what to read, and here I'm sweating and a lot of stuff. Apparently something within me, which I now in hindsight know that it was the Spirit of God, told me to go to the television and watch. Okay, now 25 years ago we don't have that kind of Christian television that is on right now in today's world. But very, very interesting that the first the channel that I put on, there is a preacher preaching, and the preacher is preaching about eternity. Okay, he's preaching in front of a live audience. He's talking about eternity, and one thing that he said really hit me like a thunderbolt, which was, he said eternity was a long time. Eternity is a long time, and he said, don't play games with it. Don't play games with it. For the little time that we are here, which is part of God's plan, don't throw that off, because eternity is a very long time. The consequences are huge. And I was on the verge of getting into this eternal pit, and I just cried out to God, cried out to God for mercy, for help. And I'm saying, God, what do I do? And that's when the preacher, correctly introduces Jesus into the picture. Okay, I told you, like, he's talking to a live audience, and he talked about Jesus, and I know all that. I've shared that with other people who have given their lives to Jesus. But here I was in the middle of the night. I knelt down in front of that television, and I accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. And I said this one thing to God. I said, now me accepting Christ tonight does not deduct the fact that I had these medication and I was about to die. But I just said, God, I just want to secure my eternity for tonight, but I don't know if I'll ever live tomorrow. But there was this strong hope in me that said, hey, you got a future. I just prayed this to God that night, and I said, God, if I see sunrise tomorrow morning, I'm going to give this life, the rest of my life, for you. And guess what? You're talking to a guy with, I have my flesh and blood right now, which means, God gave me a new hope. I woke up early next morning. The friend who was supposed to come, he forgot as he slept. But it's so interesting that is one night in which God actually interjected into my life. And after which, in no way can I say that life was hunky-dory, that I never let down God. But I just thank God for these small, interventions in my life. And these interventions are what brought me into a life of purpose. And therefore, I do not know how long I have in this world to live. But one thing I can say is, the greatest thing you can do in your life is to be reconciled with the one who created you. Today, I am reconciled with my Creator. Are you, is the question. And I've dedicated my life and to spend it to tell people that there is a God who has and wants a relationship with you. And when you are reconciled with Him, His purposes become your purposes. And that's my story for you.